Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. It's your fellow Baskin Robbins employee of the century, Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And the one who always finds out, Jacob Wile.
Baskin Robbins always finds out.
They always do.
Okay, so Quantumania. No lead up, no trailer to the trailer. No, we're gonna drop it during the football game. No, it's just we just woke up this morning and hey, look at that. Marvel left a little pre-Halloween present for us. So I gotta tell you guys, I'm not over the moon about this trailer, but I'm interested enough in it to want to do a breakdown on it. I do like the tone. I really like the song choice. Still not entirely sold on Kang. I'm kind of digging the color scheme of Kang that they're going for, but we'll get there. I do have a bone to pick about just kind of like the CG in this movie. I don't know. I feel like these cosmic realms of Marvel are all very much starting to blend together. Like the Thor side of things, the Guardian side of things, and now the quantum realm. They're starting to look very samey. But at the same time, like I said, I like the tone of this, and I dig a lot of the family dynamics. There is one big nitpick that I actually just heard about that I'm kind of crestfallen about. Someone who's not in the cast, but we'll get there. Anyways, what do you guys think of this trailer?
Dragon.
Yeah. I think it sets the tone. It's we're using seems like very much like we're using I've always liked Ant-Man as kind of our boots on the ground guy, and in the MCU very much kind of like, okay, it's just kind of like a little story off to the side that's going on. The fact that we've kind of elevated him to such a level of importance in the MCU, and I've always kind of found the Ant-Man films to be like the most likable franchise in the MCU, so I've always found them quite delightful. But yeah, this very much seems like we're using Ant-Man as like the linchpin. And I think it's a great choice. We think about it. He had a very pivotal role in Endgame, in which it was kind of he and Captain Marvel that kind of saved the day ultimately, in terms of they gave everyone a shot, and then Iron Man did the big thing. But leading up to that, I love I love where we're at with Ant-Man. We've kind of been building up since we saw him last in Endgame. The fact of there's the world building in Miss Marvel, that he's got like a podcast, so now everyone knows that Ant-Man did play a big role in helping save everybody, and now everyone knows Ant-Man's name. Again, he's very much, because of the podcasting, he's like the Kevin Smith of superheroes, and I think that's delightful.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
It's delightful. So I'm over the moon with that. That's fitting and everything I like about Ant-Man, but we're kind of like really, there's a severity to the stakes, and we're going to the quantum realm, which we've been building up for 2 movies now. So this is quite substantial, but we'll get into when we get into the trailer. I think the quantum realm itself, I'm somewhat simpatico with Tiki in that the quantum realm is going to make or break this film, to me. And that's the thing, like how much, because that's the thing where the quantum realm, how we portray it, could be the thing of like, this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, in terms of, okay, Marvel, we got to talk about the VFX, man. We got to get this straightened out, because now we've gotten to this thing. We've assembly lined the visual effects process on some of these, where there is a bit of a samey thing going on. But I think Ant-Man's the one who kind of necessitates this look. It's just the problem that we put this look into other things, so it feels like this is right, but we've kind of done like the amorphous sort of like landscape in other places, and I fear that kind of tunneling in more with like, hey, here's what a prolonged stay in the quantum realm looks like. I'm worried how that's going to come across. That's my biggest fear with this film. But everything else, I'm very hyped for. I'm very much looking forward to, and I like that we're kind of starting big for Phase 5 in the midst of all this restructuring and how things are starting off between this and I believe it's this then Secret Invasion. Isn't that right, Jacob?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that said, this is kind of a big way to start things off, and like we're getting Kang up front. Like, okay, guys, you probably won't see him for a while, but between this Loki and then obviously the Kang dynasty of it all, we're gonna have like some big spaces between our Kang exposure. So might as well start off with him, so you remember the guy.
All right.
Right. So one thing I actually heard just recently, like literally within the past 5 minutes, watching John Campia's take on this.
What's Campy said this time?
I mean, he likes the trailer, but it's just an offhand observation that I was like, wait, really? Apparently Michael Pena is not in this movie.
Well, here's the weird thing. So I'm hoping it's good. He's just not really in the movie. That's going to be a cameo in the first act.
He needs to at least pop up in the Baskin Robbins scene.
What did I just say?
I know. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. With the exception of a cameo, probably in Act 1 during the awesome Baskin Robbins bit, somewhere in that space, when, logically, I don't think we're going to take Luis to the quantum realm, is what I'm saying. Otherwise, that's going to feel like, did we really need to bring Luis to the quantum realm? So, because of that.
Dragon, yes.
He's going to be freaking out the whole time.
I'm kidding.
So because of that, with that, I understand why he would not be in the movie, at least for the large majority. And that's why we're probably not getting Dave DeSmulchin. But I don't know, because I know they confirmed DeSmulchin would not be in the third one. Now we know why he's not in the third one. But Pena, you'd hope, would be a cameo, at least, if not in Act 1, at the very, very least, post-credit scene.
Oh my God, the post-credits.
Like, imagine if we just had him build up like what's coming in the MCU as the post-credits.
Oh
What if it was like the teaser of like, here's what I mean, Nick Fury's dealing with scrolls, and there's this hot green lady.
Okay, I've always thought that they should do like a previously on with him, and that would be equally amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So Rohit says, I like how a lot of Quantum Realm looks like a Salvador Dali painting.
Which is a good call.
People in the Quantum Realm look interesting as well. Rohit also says, I think it's likely that Louise, Kurt, and the Wombats won't really be in the movie alongside Cassie's mom and Paxton. Mm-hmm. Movie feels very focused on the Ant family. You know what's interesting
so
is that Sorry.
I never gave him that name. That's adorable. The Ant family. That's so cute.
Oh my God. Out of all the people that Rohit mentioned, the only one from that cast, from that kind of collective of characters that's technically in the cast that we know is going to be in the movie is Randall Parks.
Wait, we know Jimmy Woo is going to be in this
movie?
Yes.
He is in the cast, yeah.
Well, he's got to be like at the top somewhere. I don't think we're going to be... I'd be shocked if we intercut between the quantum realm and what's going on outside of the quantum realm. We just got to be in there for like the majority of the film, right?
Either that or he's a big name and they put him in there regardless of his length of time, and he just received top billing.
Right.
I mean, like Kurt, I could absolutely buy not being there. I don't know. I can't buy them not. Michael Pena is such a part of the fabric of Ant-Man. Like that, that it's the scene from Ant-Man 1, I think.
I could see Jimmy Woo being at the very end of the movie once they get out of the quantum realm. I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm. All right. Or I could also maybe see a subplot where Jimmy Woo is trying to get them out of the quantum realm, perhaps.
I mean, that's as much as, if we're going to cut out of it, that's as much as we're probably going to do in terms of intercutting between the two stories. Because that's what he did with WandaVision. That makes sense.
Exactly, yeah.
Because assumedly, and we don't know the semantics here, but I believe he's, I forget if they're going to, Jimmy Woo, he's with the FBI, right? Yeah, he's with the, is that right?
Basically, I think so.
What I'm saying is, it was unclear to me. I forget in WandaVision if he was getting a promotion. I forget if he was getting promotion in the FBI or if he was going to be put maybe in charge of SWORD or if he was going to get working with SWORD. I'm not sure.
I thought he was working with SWORD by the end of one.
Well, he was working. What I'm saying is working with him. I don't know if they kind of like literally crossed him over into there, like taking Hayward.
I'm honestly not sure.
Okay, well that's what. Point being, he's going to be in conjunction with somebody looking into what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So I think that's about it. Let's just.
Well, Jacob had thoughts, didn't you?
Yeah, I haven't even given my thoughts.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jacob. Yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just kind of stole it from the boy. Look at him. He's crying in the corner now. Let him go.
And Jimmy Woo is an FBI agent still as of now, as far as we
That's
know.
What I thought.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't really say much different from what you guys do. Like, I do think the trailer looks very interesting. It looks like it has a different tone from the previous two movies, to be honest. That could be a good thing, or it could be something completely detrimental. And They didn't show too much of Kang, which I can appreciate. I mean, less is more in this sense. And currently, the worst thing about it is Hope Van Dyne's haircut.
Yeah. I don't want to be mean, but yeah.
You guys aren't feeling the haircut?
No.
I know it's comics accurate, but yeah.
Well, between the 3 haircuts she's had, what has been your favorite?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not a bad haircut. It just, some people can pull that hair off, but Evangeline Lilly, it doesn't really look good on Evangeline Lilly, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not one to say.
I mean, it's so funny. The only other person we really do this with is like Black Widow, because for a time she had like a different haircut each movie, and that's how you can tell which movie she's in. But yeah, so all right.
I mean, it looks fine. It just almost makes her look like a completely different person.
No, that's the thing. I don't even think it looks bad per se. It's just a radical change.
Ant-Man the Wasp is my favorite haircut for Hope Van Dyne.
Yeah, that's the long one with, I think, I don't know if you call it like a ponytail or not. She had like the braided kind of like thing going on.
Yeah, I like the braided ponytail look, kind of like almost a Katniss Everdeen kind of look.
Yeah, that's the good comparison for it. Yeah, it was like Everdeen.
And then obviously you said it is comics accurate and everything, and like I said, it's not a bad look. But like I said, I'm going to stop now before I dig myself any deeper.
This was like the traditional look for with kind of like the frumpy kind of short hair. That was kind of the. Yeah, I really like the first Ant-Man haircut. Honestly, I disliked the other ones, but what are we talking about? Right? We're talking about haircuts. Let's just move on.
Sorry, guys, we're not hair experts.
Yeah.
All right, and like I said, I'm going to stop my comments on that before I dig myself any deeper. So shall I get onto the trailer itself?
Well, yeah, we don't.
Yeah, Rohit really quick says, I think the issue with just short hair is that Evangeline Lilly doesn't have the face shape to make a pixie cut or short hair work. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you just don't have the facial structure for it. That's probably.
And we're not barbers, but who knows?
Well, the proper term would be stylists.
Well, sure, but we're also not barbers, though.
Well, but then I guess that's true. But
yeah,
I'm talking about technicalities here. And
all right, fine. We're not barbers or stylists. Okay, we're not anything. So it's.
Ouch.
I don't think anyone would trust either of any 3 of us with their hair.
Of course, we're talking about hairstyles in which we have a different Cassie Lang altogether. But let's just going to keep it in perspective.
Well, I mean that's an entirely different thing.
I know. I'm kidding. Yeah.
We can't really judge her performance yet until that comes out. So
I actually like her from what I've seen of her.
Oh yeah, remember she's the girl from Freaky, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So let's dive right into it. Yeah.
All right, Ant-Man the Wasp, Quantumania. And it is muted for copyright purposes.
Yeah.
I think I already mentioned this, but just before, I can't state enough how much I dig. I don't think it's quite as good as the mashup we got for the Black Panther trailer, because that is honestly just like top 10 trailer song worthy perfection right there. I mean, I love it so much. But I think this rendition of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is it's also very damn good. So
I still think like the best teaser music choice that we've used in a Marvel trailer has probably been Ragnarok with the
Immigrant Song.
Led Zeppelin. The Immigrant Song, yes. Did Led Zeppelin do the Immigrant Song?
Yes.
Okay,
I keep going Led Zeppelin before I go to the Immigrant Song. Yes, the Immigrant. I think it's one of the best ones they've had.
I honestly think you gotta have Age of Ultron in the conversation.
I know that's a great one too. It's a war between those two for me. Honestly,
I talk about the no strings on me thing.
Yep. In terms of like a trailer, it's really just the music having a huge role in the trailer for a Marvel movie. Yeah. Obviously, then of course there's we didn't want to talk all about the trailer music, but yeah, you have like your Guardians too as well with Hooked on a Feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So here's honestly my favorite part of the whole trailer, to be frank. I just love this new status quo thing, just kind of filling the blanks from Endgame. What's been going on with Scott Lang? The fact that he's doing really good. It's like the opening of Spider-Man 3. Things are going good for him for a change. Look at him. He's just walking.
It is like the opening of Spider-Man 3. That's a good call.
It's a good thing they provided captions for this.
Yeah. So of course, Scott Lang here. He's the arc of Scott Lang is something I really love. He went from kind of a struggling father, ex-con, to being like an Avenger, now a recognized Avenger in the streets.
Look at that
Of course,
smile. Look at that.
I know,
smile.
how jovial is Paul
Seriously,
Rudd, right? Now, this
Okay,
gag is
this- like I don't care about any of the Quantum Realm stuff as much as I care about Scott Lang being named Employee of the Century.
No, this shot right here, I love this shot here. Someone brought it up earlier. I'm whistling at the guilty party in my head. We could have used this, and this would have been fantastic.
This is like honestly some of the best product placement I've ever seen in a movie.
I love this so much because it calls back to the word he started, and we brought it back. Also, we got to look at the new Ant-Man suit.
Look at little Baskin Robbins sticker on his suit.
Yeah, I know.
I like the tie.
The tie's good. The fact that this guy, this guy who fired me, and he's shaking my hand now. There's that knowing look that Paul Rudd's giving him here. It's like, yeah, you fired me, but here we are. Look what happened.
And you can tell that he's doing it begrudgingly.
I know, and I love this. They're milking the Ant-Man cachet for all where they're using like the worst picture that he took of just like the whole like I'm not thrilled to take this job. I'm doing it to support my family. Employee of the century.
I wonder how long Turkington will be in this movie.
It's probably just gonna be for a scene.
Yeah, probably just this one scene.
Maybe two scenes if he's lucky. But Tiki, I think you were gonna read some comments or something.
Yeah. Rohit says, I'm hoping for an Ant-Man theme or Kang theme Baskin Robbins ice cream flavor down the line.
Do you think?
I'm sure with it, they've got to do an Ant-Man Baskin Robbins flavor. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a Baskin Robbins ad campaign. There can't, like, they must have spent so much money to get this in the trailer.
Well, remember, so Paul Rudd's now has this association of Baskin Robbins because of Ant-Man, which, like in the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie, he's buying Baskin Robbins when he's attacked by the marshmallow, by the terror dog, everything.
I'm surprised there haven't been any of the Ben and Jerry stuff from Infinity War.
So that's the thing. Speaking of which, you know what they got to do? So, forget the crossovers of like everyone's talking about Marvel and DC in the distant future. All these money and studios changing hands and all this sort of stuff. And our big crossovers of franchise within the MCU. You know what we need? We need to build an actual Infinity Cones, and inside Infinity Cones, we sell all the themed ice creams from both brands. We have some Baskin Robbins flavors.
Dragon, hold on. I'll do you one better. Why not just have a Baskin Robbins in Avengers Campus that just sells all the ice cream flavors?
Yeah, but you got to have the Infinity Cones thing on top of it, though. You got to have the Thanos glove holding the ice cream.
Fine.
That's the thing, but you're right, though. And bare minimum,
honestly, if it was California Adventure 1.0, the Infinity Cones thing would fit right in. But I'm not crazy about that pun, honestly.
What? You don't like the Infinity Cones?
I mean, they could technically do both.
That's true. They could do both.
Keep them separate.
I mean, still, regardless, even bare minimum, like a Baskin Robbins there would be awesome.
But they still need the Ben and Jerry's flavors.
I know, that's the thing. I kind of want to. I just want them both. I just want to both just make one of them Infinity Cones.
I really want to try Hulk burning fudge.
Me too. Honestly,
yeah.
Plus, you could also have the Spider-Man popsicle.
Oh, with the gumball eyes.
Yeah, with the gumball. I forget what that brand's called, but yes.
Blue Bunny.
It is Blue Bunny. Okay.
Yes.
It kind of sounds like a bomb pop almost.
They sell those at my Six Flags, Dragon, and I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Disney is known for selling some variation of those. Isn't that right? Or no? Is it a different brand? Like, don't they have like?
Disney is known for selling the ice cream bars. The it's vanilla ice cream with the chocolate coating.
Okay.
Or the ice cream, or the ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they actually started selling those in stores now.
I know. I've tried those. Those are good.
It is nice. Yeah.
You got to let them thaw out a little bit because if you just bite right into it, they're hard as a brick. If you just bite right into it, though.
Yeah, there's something really wrong with your freezer.
Well, no, I'm just saying in general. How can there be something wrong with the freezer, Jacob?
I know what he's talking about. I've
really that's a thing. That can happen.
It could be turned on too high.
Yeah.
Huh.
That can definitely happen.
Okay, Rohit Dar says, says Hulka Hulka fudge feels like a hybrid of mint chocolate and chocolate fudge.
Indeed.
Well, Tiki, we know who would like that.
Who?
Jimmy McGill.
Oh my God, yes.
He loves that mint chip.
Wouldn't that technically just be mint fudge?
Mint chip is good ice cream, by the way.
Mint chip is my favorite ice cream. I am with Jimmy McGill on that.
Mint chip is worth many years in prison, apparently.
And to all those people out there saying this, it does not taste like toothpaste.
Also, to make things all very relevant with our Better Call Saul reference here in the mint chip talk, ants love it.
Yeah,
they do.
Like,
they're crazy for it.
What about aunts?
I think aunts can take or leave it, but I think they'd like it.
After all, Aunt Man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Aunt Man.
I love the Aunt Man things. Anyway, point being, back to Aunt Man and the Wasp.
Aunt Man and the Wasp.
Sky, why do you have all these ants hanging around you? Well, they just follow me everywhere I go. We love him.
All right, movie. All right, let's get on with the trailer.
Okay, I think happy times for Ant-Man going on here is very much the minor celebrity. The podcast has illuminated everyone what exactly is going on.
We just spent like 5 minutes talking about ice cream.
But who doesn't like ice cream, Jacob?
I fully expected this shot to be a conversation starter.
Well, I mean,
can we just spend 10 more minutes talking about the great color coordination of basketball?
It looks like a Paul Thomas Anderson shot. Seriously,
how pleasing is the pink? I'm sorry, Jacob's going.
I mean, the pink and the blue actually do have a good composition with each
other. I
know, right? and the yellow adds a nice contrast.
Oh yeah. God! All right.
These are very pleasing aesthetics.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this. Okay, so there it is. The fact that we go from the gag in Endgame where it's like the kids they love the Hulk and they're Hulk fans. No, they don't they're Ant-Man's like give me the phone. That whole thing. And now it's like the point of name's Ant-Man. You may not have heard of me to the point where oh my God, the kids recognize him and he's got an Ant-Man backpack. How nice is
you can buy now at Avengers Campus.
But isn't that the sweetest thing? Look, because everything's coming up Millhouse for good old Scott Lang.
And it's the same. I think it's like the poster they used for the first movie. I think
it is, and they put that.
I mean, honestly, that's what I'm saying. My one nitpick with it is that it does look kind of too much like actual Ant-Man merchandise.
Well, that's the thing though. They put the actual merchandise in the shows though.
There's a little bit of a meta quality to that.
Yeah, they do it all over the place in the CW shows.
I guess.
Yeah.
Heck, even Black Adam had DC Comics in it.
That's what I'm saying. They've been doing it on the DC side of things.
Well, Shazam had DC Comics in it too.
That's what I'm saying, based on that logic.
Fair point.
Yeah.
And that's what Rohit says there. The image of Ant-Man on the backpack is from Ant-Man 1, the custom poster. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think the kid might have had an Ant-Man hoodie on, too. At the very least, it looked like an Ant-Man hoodie.
Can you go back and check?
Well, I mean, whatever you want to do if you want to.
All right, there's that again.
Wait. Go back. Let's talk about that.
No. Don't listen. Don't listen to this,
man. I don't want to get into...
I think at the very least, the hoodie's color coordinated.
Yeah, that's not an official, it's not made to look. It's not one of those hoodies that has the design on it. But also, we're going to awards and stuff. We're going to getting the red carpet treatment.
You want to know how much this hair's changed? When he got out, when he was walking with her, I was like, who the heck is that?
No, I had the same reaction. I did.
And then when I rewatched it, I was like, wait, that's Hope?
I mean, my double take was the fact I knew it was Hope. Was wait a minute, is her hair pinned back like usually? No, it's short.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm not going to make any more comments on that. I don't want to get roasted on the internet.
Well, it's not.
Jacob, everyone else is talking about it. It's fine. You're not the only one. I gotta be honest.
I don't think people are. I think of all the irrational things people talk about. I think I like this hairstyle more than that hairstyle. I think that's at least something we can all kind of dance to.
I know. I'm just saying it so in case somebody finds this in 5 years, nobody gets mad at me.
Trust me, Jacob, they will get mad at me for a lot more shit than they get mad at you for. Trust me.
We'll see.
Dragon can vouch for that.
Oh, I can absolutely vouch for that. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Okay, here's the best gag of the trailer. Let's be honest.
Thank you, Spider-Man. And he's like,
just the way he takes it in stride.
You could tell, it kind of hurts a little bit.
A little bit, and that's
I've
what I'm
heard
saying.
a couple observations of people saying that that guy would have been the Stan Lee cameo if Stan Lee was still around.
Oh, that breaks.
I
my
know.
heart. Like that.
I
Like,
know.
that would have been
I know.
perfect for him. Like God, that and him
But
saying
It would have
that
been.
line.
It would have been.
And they probably wouldn't. But then they probably wanted to put it in the trailer, though.
Well, yeah, no, obviously, sure. But still, it's just great that he's come a long way. But you know what? He's not all the way there. He's no Captain America. Not quite yet. You know, he's
like Spider-Man's newer on the scene, and he still gets more recognition than Ant-Man.
Yep. Well, actually, to be fair, hold on a second. See, Spider-Man was.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, Ant-Man was there was like a little before Spider-Man. Honestly,
I'm talking about in the MCU.
Well, no, I know. I mean, in the MCU, Jacob. I'm saying Spider-Man's like 6 months before Civil War, so that's as long as he's been around. And Ant-Man was like a year before Civil War. So I don't know. It's about 6 months to a year. I don't know what the difference is there. So they're either on the scene at the same time, and because like Bruce Banner's in the dark about it. There's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, point me. This is a great gag.
He doesn't even like. He just is like.
I seriously, I love so much that Hank Pym had to shrink his house in Ant-Man 2, and they put it back at the end. You know, just love the fact this house can shrink.
I mean, I just love the design of his house.
That's what I'm saying. It feels like it looks like an adorable little townhouse that was like almost like a toy that was made to be huge. I don't know, something kind of nice about it.
Like a quaint
it's called
family.
San Francisco architecture.
Yeah, San Francisco does have phenomenal architecture. Let's be honest.
That it does.
It does. It does.
Everything's built on a hill. Like the hills come alive. All that rot. You know?
I really wish that the actual city weren't a total shithole, but whatever.
Can we not defame San Francisco, Tiki? Can we just?
I live there, so you know. It's...
Do you know?
No, but
that's what I'm saying, man. You're just like, no, San Francisco's trash. I don't live there and get my paper there, but no, it's. You know.
Yeah.
Regardless,
I worked there for a year, so.
Still, I don't think it gives you bragging rights. Regardless, so this is where we start to encroach on possibly the problem territory for me, because I think the questionable nature of the quantum realm itself, the bigger issue is this moment right here where it's like, wait a minute, Janet has been holding something pretty big back that we probably should have known about.
No, I think Janet's reaction to this whole thing is definitely a good hook to to kind of get us into the more plot heavy stuff for sure.
It is, but it feels very retroactive to me. And again, maybe the movie's going to make this a lot better. I'm just saying, watching the trailer, and it's been a while, it's like, wait a minute, the quantum realm, a lot of bad stuff happens there, and that people are coming after him. Wait a minute, there are other people in the quantum realm? Janet, why didn't you ever mention this?
I mean, well, to be fair, she didn't really have much time to explain.
That's what I'm saying. It was at the very end of the movie, but still, I don't know.
Remember, at the end of the movie, they were dusted for 5 years.
Well, I mean, yeah, but not immediately. There was time between those moments. But you're right. The fact of the matter is...
There's a time and place for these kind of things, Dragons. Like, we're supposed to go like, oh, hey, oh yeah, remember the quantum realm? Yeah, there's people living down there.
I'm saying it's clear this doesn't feel like something they thought out when they did the movie. It feels like it's like we just come up with an idea of like, oh, we want to do a lot of stuff in the quantum realm versus just using the quantum realm as this amorphous, like, kind of danger zone to be in. Like a kind of a wasteland.
Can you go back to Michael Douglas for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, where?
Is that guy?
We just had a close-up shot of him. There we go.
There we go.
He doesn't really have a lot of presence in the trailer, but can we just take a moment to appreciate that goatee?
Well, he's always had the goatee, Tiki.
No, I know, but it's just looking damn good this movie. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, honestly, Michael Douglas, I always loves this. Michael Douglas is rocks in general. I mean, Tiki, I just
think every movie he looks more and more like the comic. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Sure, I'll tell you, man.
I don't know if you've seen my face, but I actually kind of have like a similar thing where I like have a mustache going into a beard kind of thing, but it's not a goatee per se.
I like growing facial hair, but I have a hard time dealing with it from like a tactile point of view. It's like every time it gets too long, I'm like, I need to shave this damn thing.
What is with the hair focus on this podcast?
I don't know. I just think the man looks good.
No, you're right. He does look good. I think honestly, I think you're saying that because he doesn't have the glasses on for a change. Like the one time we're not seeing him with the glasses on.
Well, Dragon, the two biggest focuses we've had on this podcast are ice cream and hair.
Hey, everyone loves ice cream.
Rohit has a comment that might give some clarification. Dragon, you want to read it?
Okay, let's see. So he says there was a deleted scene from Man and the Wasp where Janet told Hank about there being civilizations in the quantum realm. It's a complete scene and says visual. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, there you go. So it was. Okay, that makes me feel better about things, honestly. Okay.
So they just cut it out of the theatrical release.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I just like the idea. It just didn't come out like a retroactive thing of like we're saying this happened now. Okay, at least it tells me they were thinking about this sort of thing when they were doing the other things. So I want to be clear. I don't think the general public, even people that are familiar with Ant-Man, know a lot about the quantum realm because I think in the comics, like we have like I forget where it came down because there's a couple of realms like the negative zone. I forget if Ant-Man was mainly in the negative zone or not when they did that sort of thing. They had to rename it because they didn't have the rights to the Fantastic Four when they did the Ant-Man movies. So I think that's what happened there. I could be wrong.
I'm rewatching Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and that's what he did in the negative zone. He was in the negative zone with all the Ultrons.
So it probably was the negative zone. So now basically we're kind of working backwards on things a little bit here. So it's a question of like, are we too far in that we're never going to get the negative zone, or basically is the quantum realm for all intents and purposes our negative zone and such? Okay, real quick, I just want to. We don't have to go back to Douglas, but I just want to talk about him for a second. Because we got distracted with all the facial hair talk and when the man.
Do you want me to go back?
I mean, if you don't mind, just real quick.
Like, where do you want me to go?
Just a shot of him. Let's get him in there somewhere.
All right.
So, Tiki, I know you still haven't watched it, man. But I tell you, man, Douglas so great in the Kosminski method, particularly the third season, man. He has a scene at the very end of the series that is like an Emmy-worthy scene. It's like Douglas like bringing. You think, man, Douglas is good. Like, no, Douglas is really good. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
No, I don't doubt it.
We can get back to it.
So you had me go back to the scene just to say that?
I said you didn't have to. You offered. I took advantage of that. Okay.
You kind of implied that you wanted me to.
I didn't know the option was on. Okay, we're gonna move on. All right. Back to the matter is.
All right. So, what flavors of ice cream do you think he'd like?
Well, let's see. I think he's a spider.
He's a rocky road man.
Did you think they have ice cream in the quantum realm?
Nah. It's too fun.
Honestly, kind of depends on the refrigeration situation.
Marvel Studios.
Okay, so just to talk
I
about
do like the blue. I like how they're slowly working in the blue.
And of course, I suspect they're working in the blue because of Kang.
Okay, let's pause on this shot because honestly, this is where the kind of like sameness. I see this shot and it pretty much looks exactly like Guardians of the Galaxy and the Taika Waititi Thor movies. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even necessarily think it looks bad from an art direction standpoint. It's just like, if this is supposed to be like the big, like, wow reveal moment, like, it looks fine. Like, you know, the colors are nice and everything. It doesn't look like something we haven't seen before in the MCU.
Well, take a couple things. So with the Waititi thing, it's like it feels more like the one scene in Thor: Love and Thunder. It feels like the opening of Thor: Love and Thunder. But otherwise, I don't think there's a lot of Waititi in there. But you're right, though, in that we have been to this sort of place with Guardians, and it's really unfortunate because this feels right for the material, but it just feels like we have done it before, like Guardians too.
Well, it looks like the inside of Ego.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like the inside of
Ego. Yeah, exactly. That's a good comparison.
Which is unfortunate, given like this does feel like on the money with what it probably should be if you are going to go into the civilization that is inside the quantum realm. Because you can kind of see like the floating spot. I don't know, but you're right though. It does look kind of. So there's a fear already with a little bit of that this is going to be kind of like I really resist the whole like MCU burnout thing. And, you know, some people are getting it. I myself am not, but I see that
maybe if it weren't for the 10 TV shows.
anyway.
Oh, that silence is awkward. Ooh, man. Ooh, God, that was a harsh, awkward silence. All right.
Yep. Anyway.
Okay. So I also think, like, speaking of Marvel burnout, I think one of the reasons why it's happening for me personally is, and this kind of speaks to one of the issues I have with the trailer. I really feel like the visual effects in Marvel movies are falling victim to the same thing that the George Lucas Star Wars movies did. With it just feels like, even if technically it's like, even if the art direction's good, it just feels like actors standing around green screen rooms with visual effects added in. Like, like the illusion just isn't there. And I wanted to bring up, because you guys, I'm sorry, you're going to have to remind me of the name of the technology that was kind of popularized in The Mandalorian.
The volume.
Yeah, thank you. So I feel like Disney is kind of using it as a crutch right now without realizing that the reason why it works as well as it does in stuff like The Mandalorian is because of a mix of the practical with the green screen. And I just don't, like, with Marvel, it's like, like, spoiler alert, at the end of the trailer, we see Kang, and he's actually in a hallway, and the hallway's tangible and not CGI. And that shouldn't stand out. Like, that shouldn't be something that, like, it's an actual location.
Well, for me, it's... yeah, go on.
And it doesn't stand out. That's the thing.
I mean, Jacob, you and I've always been a bigger nitpicker than you, so I don't know. Like, for me, it is kind of, different strokes. But
for me, it's two things here. Well, in regards to the volume, I think the difference, Tiki, and why it looks so different than it does on Mando. Again, obviously, the practical stuff building. I think, honestly, aside from that, it's the fact that it's a vaster space than we're dealing with on Star Wars. Now, I know it sounds like a little weird because you're thinking, well, we're in deserts and things on Mando, but think about it. Our shots are like really focused on specific sections of desert, where this is like, look at how wide and sweeping we're looking all around us here. Like, when we're in Mando, it's like, okay, just the background happens to be, basically we're selling a place that couldn't exist as like a place that's tangible. But again, because of the magic of Star Wars, it's like, hey, these are planets that you feel like you could visit in terms of, like, well, it's a sand planet, like the sand dunes of Tunisia, or it's like, it's a volcano-y kind of place.
Sure.
Where, again, it feels tangible, or this is like a place that could never exist. And it's very vast, and we're pulled back, and we're seeing like a wider kind of shot versus like just up close with the characters.
It definitely
I feel like this kind of stuff would be more impressive in a video game, if that makes sense. Like, because that whole wide spectrum pullback, it'd be a lot more exciting if this was like the opening title screen of an Ant-Man video game, and it's like, okay, now we get to go and explore all this stuff.
Now, for me though, go on, Jacob.
I said it looks like it's ripped from a comic book.
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing. It looks like it's from a comic book, but then you have the element that I think has been kind of the Achilles heel of a lot of the MCU visual effects things. I don't mean to be tossing visual effects because obviously things are going on there, but it just feels like
and obviously it's not the effects artist's fault. Obviously,
yeah. What I'm getting at is that it feels like there's been a problem that's been there ever since the beginning. That we kind of the first phase worked best with, and then it kind of like after a while, like let's say, I don't know, maybe after Guardians, maybe after Ultron at the very latest, the color correction thing. And maybe, I don't know, I can't even like separate. All I know is after phase one, that's where you get into the dicey territory where somebody's like, well, we could be brighter in our color palette here. This is a place where you absolutely could be color, make it look fully like a comic thing. Where it feels like this, again, the layout is like a comic in terms of like the design of this place, but it just feels like, could we just up the brightness a little? And then we have like the occasional Thor Ragnarok, for example. Like, yeah, this is very colorful. Okay, this is what we should be looking at. The color thing, the color correction has always been like the main thing I think holding us back visually with the Marvel things. I don't mean it's been like a detriment, it's killed the movie, but you look at Captain Marvel, it's like, man, this is a garbage color scheme we're working with right now. Just in terms of the color scheme. But yeah, so right now the idea is, so Cassie, it seems like, she's been she built this satellite thing that essentially is like, we can help people in the quantum realm, like Janet. And then Janet's like, no, you shouldn't have built this thing. Oh God, and we all got sucked in there because the quantum realm has unfinished business with her, it seems.
Okay, so Rohit has a comment. He says, in regards to volume technology, I think how it's done. Mm-hmm. Well, and again, like stuff like the shot, like from an art direction, it looks pretty good. I like the blues in this movie. That is the one color that's popping and giving the king of it all. I think that's the color that should pop. So
it should. The blue should pop.
and I also agree with Rohit on this point that he says I do think the color palette is an improvement over the first two movies, which, let's face it, those first two movies, they're fun, but they don't have a ton of visual style to them. I feel like they have more, I feel like the style in those movies is more in the screenplay than it is in the actual.
I don't know. I think the first movie's got enough style to go forward. It's like we're shrinking.
Yeah, that's because it's like half of an Edgar Wright movie.
Actually, it's 0% of an Edgar Wright movie, considering he didn't even shoot a frame of it.
Well, I'm just saying there's definitely some leftover Edgar Wright elements in that first movie.
Well, still, I mean, it's regards to the way we depict the shrinking is what I'm getting at with the visuals. I don't think Edgar Wright had a thing on all of that.
I'm still convinced the Louise bit is a leftover Edgar Wright thing, but
all right, anyway. Point being, well, that very well might be, but again, not a visual thing, Tiki.
Sure.
Well, not what I mean, like the whole regardless.
No, I hear you.
Okay. Point being, yeah, go on.
Rohit also says in regards to volume technology, I think how it's done well in the Batman and Mandor because it's more natural environments, like Dragon mentioned. I mean, that's true, but it's like I don't know. I just think just a few, just put some practical rock work in the set, and I think it'd go a long way in this case. I don't know.
So coming up is, again, just basically kind of summarizes the whole civilization aspect where, again, even though I'm a little more sold now that I have the information about the deleted scene, it's still like what we're seeing right now, these guys look really cool. I'm just saying that if we do a whole thing where we kind of like, there's a civilization, but it's like it's a 2 hour to less than 2 hour movie. Well, in the MCU at this point, it's going to be a 2 hour plus movie. We're not going to, I don't know if we're going to, even with that, I don't know if we're going to be able to really get into a bunch of these guys or really have them kind of shine, where a lot of them just might be kind of set dressing, where I'm afraid the civilization aspect could, I hope it's not going to get in the way of our story. I hope it's not just going to be like, hey, it's kind of set dressing and we look at all these cool guys we have here. Just don't throw stuff at me, throw plot at me.
No, I hear you. I like the designs, but yeah.
That's not saying they couldn't still win with this, because again, usually the Ant-Man movies have been rather character focused. Only we got a little crowded with subplots in the second movie, but still,
well, I mean, if you think about it, though, we have in this movie we have 5 core characters with the exact same power set, and that's already a crowded main character list.
Well, actually, it's 3, and then then you have Douglas he's not really in the suit, but I guess he has shrinking tech. So maybe you're right. There is. I'm sorry, I apologize. You're actually, but they roughly all have the same ability. Yes. Yeah. So you're right. There is a risk there for sure. It's
okay, Rohit, I actually I would have guessed the Louise thing was an Edgar Wright thing, so that is news to me that it's Peyton Reed's contribution. So that's good to know.
Yeah, everyone's always not you, Tiki, but in general, everyone's always underestimating how clever Peyton Reed is with how he shoots things.
I'm just saying that Louise thing feels very distinctly.
It does feel very distinctly Edgar Wright when how it's shot. You're right, it does.
All right.
So there is a very psychedelic kind of look. It looks like. When we go subatomic, again, it feels very much like everything looks like we're in kind of like a shrunken mushroom garden of sorts when we're here. And, when you kind of saw them.
And again, a lot of this just I kind of feel like a broken record here. It all looks good. It all very much looks like something that you would find in a 1970s sci-fi calendar or something like that. But, I'm very much getting the same vibe as Ego the Living Planet, Jacob. I think you kind of hit it on the head with that stylistic comparison.
All right. I just want to know what the person with this person in the corner is over here.
Well, I wonder if it's maybe a flashback to Janet or not, or if it's just going to be a person who's just there doing stuff. Let's see. So that's a thing here. As I'm looking at this show, I think this is Civilization. But then again, those two right there, those might be Hank and Janet right there, because given the white hair and everything, it's probably them.
Yep.
Yeah, it's them. Look at the outfits, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you so afraid of?"
And of course, ultimately, a lot of people are thinking she's afraid of MODOK and or Bill Murray, who's going to become MODOK.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that.
Yeah. That's the main theory right now because it'd be really weird if you just make Bill Murray like an ancillary, like kind of sidekick to like an underling of Kang versus just like let's make him if we're gonna make him an underling, make him MODOK.
Yeah, like we know MODOK's in the movie, we know Bill Murray's in the movie. We don't know who's playing MODOK. We don't know who Bill Murray's playing. It
There
just
is a
makes
theory.
sense, right?
There was a rumor that Jim Carrey is playing MODOK, but I don't know if that's going to be true or not.
Okay, well, if that's the case, that would be even better. So I don't know.
I just hope that there was this concept art that was floating around that people were not thrilled with, and it seemed to be debunked. Like it was not the actual concept. It was not the actual thing that's going to be in the movie. But so there's kind of a hope that we're not going to have MODOK with just a big old metal face. Versus like you need like a moving face on the head to be really cool. Yeah. So yeah, it seems like I liked our Kang technology here. We see like kind of this hieroglyphic circular orb pattern that's going around everywhere. The hieroglyphics on it, which feels on brand for him. At least that's kind of the vibe I'm getting just looking at the trailer. Speaking of Kang, of course, Jonathan Majors. I gotta look. He's bringing the intimidation factor. We're seeing hordes of, assumably, kind of Kang's army for when he conquers. Okay.
Yeah, it actually kind of does look like the ships they used in Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Do you mean the ships that he had, or just the Quinjets?
The ships that he used in that.
Yeah, you're right. They do look like them. Yeah.
Sorry, I've just been kind of binging Earth's Mightiest Heroes lately. I actually just finished the part where they had Kang the Conqueror in it.
So overall, this does feel like it's Kang preparing to do what he's going to do in the majority of the MCU. This is probably the preparation stage for Kang overall. This film.
Okay, Rohit says, hold on, Dragon, I'll get back to that point in just a second. Rohit says Bill Murray is not MODOK. He is just a ruler in the quantum realm that has a prior history with Janet. It's from MODOK. It's rumored that it's Darren Cross who is MODOK. Bill Murray's character is Krylar.
Huh. And of course,
so the vibe that I get from that is essentially Bill Murray is playing kind of like this movie's version of the Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it could work.
No, sure. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's not going to be fun. It's just going to be like, I think a lot of people, there were two hopes that were for Bill Murray. That one was MODOK, the other
Dragon,
one was...
Did you like Russell Crowe in Ragnarok?
I mean, yeah, I thought it was good. You know, it was.
I thought it was like kind of like a shell. It was like trying to do Jeff Goldblum again, but just
wait. You mean in Love and Thunder?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yes, in Love and Thunder. Yeah.
Because Russell Crowe was not in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Russell. Yeah. So Zeus. Honestly, Zeus was. I think it was fun, but that whole scene did feel a little odd, though, if I'm being frank, in terms of like the plotting of that movie. So it was kind of like, I think he played it well, he played it fun, but I don't think it was.
That's the thing, is that the Grandmaster, for as much of a joke as he is, he actually had a good role to play within that movie's story. So.
The Grandmaster was a good take, and if you're going to do the Red King from Sakaar, if you make it like kind of a fun Jeff Goldblum type that makes him stand out versus like generic red gladiator bad guy.
All right, so Dragon, you just made a point about this movie basically being set up for Kang.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I really I'm sure it will be to a certain extent, but I really hope that's not all that it is, because I really think if it really because Ant-Man and the Wasp very much was just like, hey, look, you guys want to know how Ant-Man, like what happened to Ant-Man in the midst of the snap? Then you're going to have to watch this 2-hour movie that doesn't have anything to do with that to get to the post credits where the question is answered. I don't know, like Ant-Man movies always kind of have that sort of like stepping stone feel. So I definitely think it's inevitable that this is going to have some sort of setup. But Dragon, I like your initial pitch of like this movie. I feel like the best case scenario is it's going to be less of a setup movie and more of kind of like more of like a Guardians of the Galaxy style, like sort of like a movie that kind of like, like broadens the spectrum of the MCU. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, what I'm kind of expecting, like my initial expectation for the movie is that it's going to be we're going to flesh out Kang after we've put him on the board. Like Loki said, Kang is coming, and here we're seeing. I think we're going to get a feel for Kang, and I think we're going to do that through our likable character of Ant-Man. And I think that's a great contrast. We have a very likable Ant-Man. We have a very terrifying Kang, and seeing these two opposites kind of interact and seeing what the common ground, presumably with, with Kang, there's like the whole Ravonna Renslayer thing. So it's a question of like, what does Kang want? Why is he doing this? And I think perhaps all we know from this trailer, all we're getting from this trailer ultimately is that Kang wants something that Ant-Man can help him achieve, and in return, he will send him home. And I think ultimately what we're setting up is that
he needs to get a diamond out of a bayou, and Ant-Man's the only one who can shrink down small enough to get it for him. That's a Rescuers joke, in case anyone. I'm sorry, that was lame. I'm sorry.
Okay, what I was saying is that I think back to the pathos, if I can, for a minute. I think ultimately it's going to be, it's like what is Scott Lang prepared to do for his family, and it might be a thing where Scott Lang, to save his family, he had to do something that potentially is going to hurt the MCU, which I think could be rather interesting if we go that route. Now, I want to touch on something so we don't forget about it. Rohit, Jay, throw Rohit's last comment.
Kyle would not be pleased.
For my family. Jay, throw Rohit's comment back on screen. The second to last one, the 11.
I got it. The Bill Murray one?
Yeah, Bill Murray one, yes. And sorry, Jay, I forgot the Tiki's. I forgot the Tiki has the controls on that. Yes, so.
Technically, we both have the controls. I'm running the video, he's running the comments.
Right, sorry, got it. So this is something I did not know about that seems really interesting that Rohit brought up, the whole Darren Cross thing. You remember Darren Cross.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. The name is like so on the tip of my mind.
Yellow Jacket from the first Ant-Man movie.
Oh, right.
So it sounds like what we're saying. How do you guys feel about this potentially, assuming this is true? Darren Cross, when he was seemingly graphically destroyed and sent into the quantum realm, he might have been repurposed and salvaged into MODOK, and that's how they brought him back. So MODOK might sound like like Corey Stoll, like Darren Cross. And Darren Cross is like a big Scott Lang bad guy.
I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing. Like we've repurposed, like in the comics, Darren Cross was kind of a big bad for Scott Lang, so we kind of found a way to kind of keep him around, but kind of transform into a more interesting character potentially.
Sounds like now is the MODOK spelled with a C or a K?
K. It's supposed to be a K.
Oh, well, I mean, it's because sometimes it's spelled either way, for combat or for killing.
I think if it's on a kid's show, it's probably going to be like for combat. If it's like not Earth's Mightiest, it's for Superhero Squad or something. That's probably MODOK with a C, but it's got to be MODOK with a K.
Well, actually, for Earth's Mightiest Heroes, it was C for combat.
Fine for combat, yes.
And people pointed out that the combat thing is more interesting anyway because he actually doesn't do that much killing.
Well, still, though, why can he really fight anyone though?
Not really.
That's what I'm saying. He's a giant baby head. It's like. Anyway,
I wonder what kind of ice cream he likes.
Well, let's see. MODOK would be. He'd get brain freeze too easily. Maybe he's more of a.
Maybe he's more to sorbet or froyo.
Yeah, he's probably a froyo guy.
Is he a Dole Whip guy, maybe? Perhaps?
He likes the color yellow, though. So whatever yellow Dole Whip.
And Dole Whip is good, though. That'd be worth the brain freeze.
Anywho. All right, let's see. So I guess refocus. Hey, let's press on here. Okay, here we go. Some really cool. I guess I want to talk about like the circle look with Kang. Because I think Kang, he always brought up like kind of like glyphics from the future and everything on kind of like technology similar to this. So this is kind of. I mean, Jacob, have you gotten the Kang yet in Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
I literally just said I finished his arc.
Sorry, I know you. So what I meant is, did you see the stuff? Sorry.
I know he reappears after the initial arc that I did. That I just watched, but yes, I remember a lot of the stuff that he did.
Okay, do you remember when he brought up stuff like, did the technology look a little like this, you think, or no, or?
Kind of similar. I mean, probably less rings, but.
Okay. Just curious.
But still, definitely like kind of like a futuristic kind of thing, and it even like maybe they'll build upon the road that was also thing in the past too. Who knows?
Yeah.
This February.
Yep.
Spaceship show.
More hieroglyphics.
I like this shot. Kind of reminds me of like Halo almost.
Yeah.
Almost kind of giving me a Last Jedi vibe a little bit with the red.
Kind of.
Look at all this salt.
Yeah, we've had plenty of salt this commentary.
No, we've had a lot of
I
sweet.
knew that the salt was going to be from the salty fanboys.
Oh no! Well, forget the salty fanboys. We've had sweet ice cream, my friends.
Oh God!
I mean, there's such thing as salty ice cream.
Jacob, I was just about to say salted caramel ice cream. Salted caramel.
Well, we know what Tiki's ice cream flavor is.
Yep, I used to work at a United Dairy Farmers. Well, there was one of the flavors was sea salt caramel.
I'm an Oreos and strawberry man myself.
Gotta have the sea salt. The sea element of that is important.
Oreos and strawberry.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Honestly, I just like shoving Oreos in the ice cream. Can either be strawberry or my other go-to, the cookie and cream, so you get double the Oreo.
One thing I used to do at United Dairy Farmers, I took some of the sample spoons, and the way we had cookies and cream was sometimes they'd have whole Oreos in there, and I just take them out of the ice cream and eat them.
Okay.
It's like, and what about the sea salt ice cream from Kingdom Hearts 2?
I feel so bad for Rohit.
Oh
right
yes!
now
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's absolutely one of the things I would love to have at a Disney park, Jacob.
I think they're actually inspired by something from Tokyo Disney Sea. So.
Oh, I'm sure they probably have something somewhere at Tokyo Disney with that. Yeah.
I feel so bad for Rohit right now because he's in the comments watching. He's like, "Why aren't they talking about the trailers? Talk about ice cream again.
When are we gonna get to the fireworks factory?
I want to see Hank Pym yell at people."
Okay, he's opening the door. Hey, what if they serve ice cream here?
So here's a question. It'd be like the Goofy Goober restaurant at SpongeBob. They serve ice cream instead of alcohol. No. So I do wonder. A theory I've had with the Quantum Realm is that the longer you stay there, you might possibly. Because we kind of had this a little bit with WandaVision, because when you went past the whole the spectrum thing, you kind of turned into kind of gain powers and mutations and stuff. So I wonder if potentially there's an effect of the longer you stay down there, because we saw the whole Salvador Dali effect and kind of the psychedelic nature when we've been going there before, and Hank Pym experienced a little bit of that, and I think there's a risk if you stay down too long, something like that could happen to you. So I wonder if these people are lost travelers, either from other dimensions or humans that may have been turned into this. It's probably other dimensions, though.
And this could tie into a potential multiversal thing.
Yep, multiversal thing. And Doctor Strange is very aware of this place, I'm sure.
All right.
This place has a Star Wars cantina vibe, and I can't decide if I like that or not.
Tiki?
What?
Do you think Wong should show up in this?
I could see it.
Okay.
It's you could even just what am I even doing down here?
Oh God!
What if Wong was our new Stan Lee villain, because he just keeps showing up everywhere and people love him?
Well, I think it's more appropriate. I think he's more of the Coulson of Phase 4.
That's a better way.
It's the Wong cinematic universe.
I still really wish Kevin Smith were maybe elevated to the Stan Lee status, so we just gonna put him in things maybe a little bit more. Again, he was very much kind of like an apprentice to Stan Lee. That would have been really nice.
No.
There's only one Stan Lee cameo I want, Dragon, and that's there's only one Kevin Smith cameo I want, and that's him as a startled passenger on a Star Tours cruise gone awry.
Yeah, let's put him in Mando season 3. Let's do it. Ah!
Bill Murray.
Yes, it's the Bilbo.
Oh God.
Bill.
Yep. All right. Let's see. So
I still hit the unmute button for a moment.
Huh.
I muted it again though. So
of course, a little bit of giant man action and Kang's forces. It appears.
If you think about it, technically he's giant compared to them, but he's still.
No, I know. I did think about that. It is kind of a head trip.
He's giant to them, but still technically he's basically microscopic to us.
Right.
Now, look at this. There's this next shot here. We have him with the Wasp and From. This is a classic comic shot.
My favorite. Obviously the Baskin Robbins shot is the best shot of the trailer. But
the man who saved the world and gave us ice cream.
I will put it this way. This is probably my favorite visual effects shot in the movie.
It looks like classic comics in terms of you have the big Ant-Man in the background, little Wasp up in the foreground.
Totally.
And then we have the second again. Peyton Reed. This has to be Peyton Reed throwing a little bone to like, hey, I did that second episode of the second season of Mandalorian, with the spider guys. I was like, little spider love.
Spiders. We'll have a giant legion of spiders.
And we know John Peters is happy somewhere. Says spiders.
Oh,
They're the fiercest killers in the animal kingdom. We have to have spiders in this.
Remember, he also did the final episode of season 2 as well.
Well, of course, that's obviously that's the bigger takeaway. But it's kind of nice that he's throwing a little spider in there. Okay, it looks like Ant-Man's taking quite the beating here. Okay, this is the trippiest Salvador Dali shot that was kind
of that's some Doctor Strange shit right there.
Yeah, that's terrifying. And a little father-daughter action there. Like, yeah, look at him running in an action shot. Yeah. Okay, now here's the money shot. Oh my God, look at this. Kang with the blue face, and he's wearing the green outfit, and he's floating, and he's doing blue magic-y stuff.
The only issue I have with the blue face, and it's really not even this movie's fault at all, is that it kind of calls to mind Electro.
Oh, come on!
No, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad because
this is
know
his thing.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
He was blue before Electro was.
Yeah.
I know he was blue before Electro. I know. That's what I'm saying. Electro hijacked this look.
He's going the full Kirby, man. Don't diss the full Kirby. We love the full Kirby.
It's fine. It's good. It's good.
We found a way to give him the blue face naturally. It's a science.
Oh, God.
Here's a shot we used for the thumbnail.
Okay, we have some comments we should probably read.
Yeah, let's see. You want me to just go down the line, or?
Yeah, real quick. Some of them are really
really quick. So Rohit says it's going to lead into the Kang Dynasty, considering the screenwriter for Quantumania also wrote the script for that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the circle designs. They're a neat visualization of time as a closed loop, as stated by He Who Remains in Loki.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, it does tie in visually to the whole the singular timeline thing. That's interesting.
I mean, even though He Who Remains and King are not the same character.
Well, no, it's like a little bit of DNA in each variation of yourself. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
I think he's talking about the trippy effect here. I don't know. I forget exactly what he's talking about.
Oh no! What he's talking about there is the that effect has been demonstrated by you. Remember Janet? She healed ghosts of her her phasey problem at the end of Ant-Man 2. That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
All right, let's see. So Wong needs to show up at that bar. You're drinking the gin and tonic with Madison. Remember, Madison with 2 N's and a Y, but it's not where you think.
Oh God, Jesus.
Phase Wong.
God. Okay, let's see the Wongiverse. So let's see. Scott is okay. This is funny. So Scott has obviously been beaten up by Kang. Have you seen Majors in the Creed 3 trailer? The dude's a unit, man. He's like,
I have not watched that trailer yet. I need to.
Here's the thing. You know what's without getting into a full ice cream tangent on Creed.
Oh God.
What
is Apollo Creed's favorite ice cream flavor?
Red, white, and blue.
Anything with it. It's like Neapolitan, except it's like vanilla, strawberry, and blueberry.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm on the fence about the movie, and I don't want it to
I haven't even seen any of the Creed movies.
Well, you gotta watch the least.
I haven't seen Creed 2 yet.
I like Creed 2, but the first one's really obviously probably the best of the bunch because that's the cooler one.
Then again, I need to also rewatch Rocky.
That you do. That you have to do instantly, but yes. Let's see.
I'm pretty familiar with Rocky 1 through 3, which are the only ones that matter as far as Rocky 4 I'm pretty familiar with too.
Rocky 4 is fun.
Yeah, please. The only reason people remember 3 is because of the "I Have the Tiger" song.
Okay, yeah. Jacob, I'm not even kidding you. Rocky 3 is unapologetically, unironically my favorite Rocky movie.
I mean, that's fair enough.
I fucking love Clubber Lang. I love how over the top, I'm going to kick Rocky's ass. I don't know. I love Clubber Lang as a villain.
Yeah.
He's like Apollo Creed without any of the class.
It's so scary to me. I'm so used to Mr. T being like the friendly spokesperson.
Right,
kids,
right,
like,
right.
Like, oh, don't beat up Stallone. What are you doing? No.
No, Clubber Lang is an asshole in that movie.
Yeah,
dude.
he is. He's like, oh, never so. How dare he say that about Talia Shire? What?
So what kind of ice cream does Clubber Lang like?
Whatever one brings pain. So what ice cream gives you the most pain?
Oh God.
He like Clubber Lang eats ice cream and glass shards in. Let's be honest.
Oh my God.
It's vanilla, but it looks red because I eat it with glass.
Oh,
But no, what I was getting at with the Creed thing is the third trailer. It's interesting because it looks good, but I don't feel compelled to see it like the other two, and I don't want it to just be because Rocky's not in it. But I mean, he's not going to be in this one, but it just feels like there's something kind of like it. I don't know. It's not really, the drama is not there for me like it is with the others. It just feels like, okay, it's Creed doing an adventure. It's going to be personal for Michael B. Jordan. That's cool, and then Jonathan Majors does look cool. It's basically a movie I would watch, but I would not go to theaters to watch.
Makes
for
sense.
me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Who is Jonathan Majors in that?
Some people speculate. We don't know this for sure, but based on the
brother,
trailer,
right?
well, he's like his kind of suit. He's like his figurative brothers. Like the idea, this guy was they were friends growing up, and he ended up in jail while his friend was in foster homes, and eventually realized he basically went. So it's a class thing for this third one. That's what it's going to be, where he's like on the rise. Like he's jealous of his friend, and he basically, hey, you finally got out of prison. Let's hang out. And says, hey, you're on the upper crust. I'm going to take you down, man. Yeah, of course, a lot more thrilling than I've just put it, but yes.
Because I know the first one was like basically the legacy of his father,
and two basically is the rematch with Ivan Drago and his son,
and then this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Here, let's see, and then lastly, I'm surprised. Oh, Tiki, this is on you, buddy.
Yeah, he says I'm surprised Tiki didn't make a Blue Man Group crack. I don't know. Blue Man Group's pretty much dead at this point. They're not playing at Universal Studios anymore. I don't know what they're doing.
Did the Blue Man Group ever talk, or was it all the sounds?
I honestly have no clue. I
don't think they ever
all
spoke.
The sounds. I never saw them when they were at Universal, so I don't know.
Just imagine like the last performance of the Blue Man Group. They do their performance, and then they like mime basically a sad goodbye. So they pull out like a tissue, and they say, they dab their eyes and they go off, or they maybe like they say the one word ever, say thank you, and they leave.
Oh my God.
The saddest last performance ever of the Blue Man Group. And then Kang saw this, and Kang was like, this is my calling. This is what the wrong I have to right through time.
I'm pretty sure Blue Man Group has like magic involved with their act. I don't know.
I don't think it's magic. I think I thought it was like the whole thing. Isn't there,
no, I'm pretty sure there is some magic illusion type stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I think Rohit said it just now. The Blue Man Group does not talk. They just mime and play instruments. I'm not even interested. I thought their whole thing was like they play like the whole found instruments thing, or they hit like trash can lids and everything.
That could be,
kind of like Blue Man Stomp almost.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's pretty much like Blue, but Stomp with like everything, not just your feet. But yeah.
Well, to be fair, Stomp also used everything as well.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it's like they made music with like brooms and stuff too.
This might be the most unfocused trailer breakdown we've ever done. Anyway,
so I think the Blue Man Group should have a special blue raspberry ice cream flavor.
It's definitely some of the most fun I've ever had doing one of these breakdowns.
Blue raspberry.
It is
you got blue raspberry, you got blueberry, and then you have possibly the boysenberry. I don't know if that would.
And technically, raspberry flavors are usually colored blue.
Boysenberry is not blue, Dragon.
Really? I mean, it's kind of dark. I mean, so it wouldn't.
No, it's definitely not blue. No.
Okay.
It's kind of like a. I don't know, like a sandy pink is how I would describe it.
I thought it was more purple.
I thought it was like purple.
Yeah, kind of like it's like a pink purple. Yeah.
Okay, blue raspberry.
It's like a mauve, like a mauve kind of.
Someone just threw a really good blue suggestion here. I can't. You said raspberry looks blue.
Like I said, well, the actual real raspberries are red, but like the raspberry food coloring and flavor is always blue.
Well, there you go, blue raspberry.
Does anyone know the story behind that? Like why blue raspberry is blue raspberry?
Well, probably because they just wanted to call it blue raspberry, Tiki.
I feel like there's an interesting story there. I don't know.
Well, we
feel
want
like
to
there's
sell the
interesting,
exact
like,
same thing to
20-minute
people.
I'm also
Go
rewatching.
ahead.
I'm rewatching something else right now, and one of the things like someone's building something out of raspberry popsicle sticks. And it's like, I don't know why are raspberry popsicle sticks blue.
Oh God! All right.
Anyway, getting back on the point here, I think we're about to have an important hallway conversation. Not a hallway fight. That's Ariel's territory. A hallway conversation.
Jonathan
But no, seriously. Oh, go on.
Let's take Jonathan Majors.
A lot of all the joking aside, seriously, I really do love this idea of like he's making a bargain with Ant-Man here, and you have like the possibly at least the big villain of the phase and like the smallest kind of like humble character of the MCU, just kind of like conversing here, and it feels very kind of God, kind of a God and man sort of like a Faustian deal of some sort. I don't know. There's something kind of like about this. I'm not really explaining it right, but
God and Ant.
God and Ant, Ant boot, that sort of thing. So it's very, yeah. It feels appropriate. And I like how we're kind of taking Paul Rudd and we're kind of throwing him in this kind of area with Ant-Man. We're seeing like kind of the character put in a dramatic situation. It seems. Like only in that the Disney cruise thing they did recently did I see Ant-Man in the same room as well, essentially Ultron. They brought Ultron back for that thing, and unfortunately no James Spader, which bummed me out. But yeah, Ross Marquard's cool.
They brought Ultron back for that, but they couldn't bring him back for WandaVision.
Well, it's still not even so, it's still not James Spader, which always still bugs me. It's like, come on, bring him back. Give him money. But
I mean, they literally have the Ultron body in the Guardians of the Galaxy queue. It's I don't know. It's weird.
Anyway, point being, it's kind of cool to put Ant-Man in the space like a big villain, especially when everyone was always going on about like, what if Ant-Man took out Thanos in a very unpleasant way?
Yeah, which has been debunked many times over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because of that, I have to wonder in the writing, did anyone think about, well, this Thanos thing's going around everywhere. What if we just put the big bad guy the next phase in the Ant-Man movie and had to have a scene, just put him in contrast with him?
Yep.
Anyway, yeah. So that's it.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Okay, Rohit makes a point that I really like how the MCU adapted the lines on his face as the facial scars on Kang's face. Jake, can you go back to Kang's face for a moment, please? To Major's face, I suppose, more accurately. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you see on his face. Okay, so that's the idea. So when his face is blue, he has like the little kind of like almost. I don't know what you'd call it, but I guess just markings. He has like it looks like almost like a crystallized effect, like when he. It's like Kang looks like he wears like a glass thing in front of his helmet, but there's no glass thing. That's kind of the best way I could describe it. And that's basically those markings are scars on his face, according to the Rohit here, which you can kind of see here on his cheek on the right there. So yeah, it's interesting. That's a cool way of making it practical. So when the energy's flowing through him, he's just wearing a funny hat. He looks exactly like Kang.
Huh. I wonder what the reason is for the blue though.
Well, no, it's probably just like how I'm trying to think of in Loki if there's like if the energy summoned was. No, we didn't see the energy.
He's just a really big Breaking Bad fan.
Okay. We have a fun fact here. Tiki, fun fact.
Right.
The last time an MCU movie came out in February was Black Panther. Hopefully, this movie will be able to achieve the same level of critical and commercial success as the Black Panther movie. Not sure about that, but it is a rather
I would
big
bet on it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think it's going to be a bad movie, but
it is an important one though, with the bad guy being in the movie though. So I don't know. We got a movie called Kang Dynasty coming out. We got Loki building up. You'd imagine people are going to see what's the deal with Kang.
Also, can I just say I've been marathoning the Treehouse of Horrors, and of course, Kang and Kodos are major fixtures of that. So every time I see Kang, I have to kind of like readjust my brain and remind myself that it's not the slobbering green alien monster.
Then again, there is like a whole like a coalition and council of Kangs. He might be on that council like as
a Kang. God, I would love it if he was, dude.
And wait, Dragon, you
Fox
might be able to...
does own The Simpsons.
And wait, then technically, Dragon, you might be able to answer this. Did Kang the Conqueror come first, or did Kang and Kodos come first?
Kang the
Well,
Conqueror.
Kang and Kodos was like 1990, so
Yeah, like Kang was like way back in the
Yeah.
60s, guys. So he was, yeah. He was
I thought it was
great.
I didn't know if it was like the 70s or no. I didn't.
I mean, there's a slim chance of the 70s, but I'm pretty sure it was like late 60s. Like after I think he was introduced in Avengers. I could be wrong. I know it was like a big. He really made a splash in the Avengers. It's kind of like the whole Captain America thing, only it's not like one appearance.
Yeah, I voted for Kodos anyway.
all right.
Right.
I think on that note, I think we're
Hopefully
pretty
some
much-
people understand that reference.
I understood the reference.
We have another fun fact, so yeah, let's get to our root.
Quantumania.
There's an
Mania.
anthropomorphic version of Kang that's a kangaroo on the Council of Kangs.
So it is. Nothing is impossible.
That's probably from the animal verse or whatever.
Okay, if anything, if
Kangaroo.
Kang from the Kang from Kodos, if Kang from the Simpsons is gonna pop up anywhere, it's gonna be in What If, right? Like I think that's the one show that they could actually get away with that gag.
Okay, do you want an actual answer to this?
Okay. God.
Okay, so as we know, the Simpsons have done a series of shorts, usually like an annual thing for like Disney Plus. Not, but occasionally.
No, you're right. That's by the way, fucking like the last one they did, the villain one was just so lame.
So
But
based on that, it's possible we could have another. They did one with Loki, so it is possible at some point we could do like if they want to, they could throw a Kang and Kodos gag with a whole. He's just dressed like Kang the Conqueror or something.
no, I could see that. That's probably the most likely acknowledgement that we're gonna get.
What? I'm on the council. I get a parking space.
Let's see. Rose says he showed up as Rama Tut in Fantastic Four, then showed up as Kang in Avengers.
Yeah, there you go. So he was in the F. That means he was definitely in the 60s then.
All right, so I think we're pretty much done, right?
Yeah. I mean, unless there's anything you want to
Goodbye,
say.
Yellow Brick Road, indeed.
Okay. Koski
Koski
Productions.
Productions says what I miss.
Well, someone was in this.
Literally the whole podcast.
We talked a lot about ice cream.
Yeah, a lot of ice cream jokes.
That's pretty much all you missed. We just talked about ice cream for
And
an hour and 20 minutes.
And a few comments about hair.
All right.
Yep.
All right. So thanks to Rohit for all his questions. It's all good, Koski. I still hope you watch it in the archives. That's what the archive is for. No
Jacob,
problem.
quick, add another hashtag. Hashtag hair cream.
Oh God. All right. Okay. So yeah. Big thanks to everyone for joining us. Have a good night. See y'all later. Ice cream.
Ice cream for ice cream.